All right, we're live. Hopefully, the signal won't be as choppy as it was yesterday. Let me just make sure I'm on my yesterday. I have no idea why, but we're live. Got a couple of surprises for you guys. We're actually gonna have Lou DeBello on here at 3:30. We're gonna talk about any number of subjects going on in the sport of boxing. Should be entertaining. Lou's very outspoken guy, knows the business. Has a lot of takes on a lot of different things, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be at 3:30. Might be on this exact same stream because 3:30 ain't that far away. It's a little over an hour and a little under an hour and a half from now, so it'll probably be on this same stream. And look forward to it. Timmy, what's good? George, what's good? And I also have a video already made. There's certain subjects that I'm not going to broach because I've already prepared a video in reference to those subjects. Thus, I'm gonna save whatever I have to say about Daniel Dubois, Teofimo Lopez, Yamilet Mercado versus who's this girl? Who's this girl? Who's this guy? I'm getting old, guys. My short-term memory is really starting to go. Like I'm not even joking. I literally was just talking about this girl in the video. Alexander was good, but the reason I wanted to go live right now was in reference to something that Teofimo Lopez said about Floyd Mayweather Jr. I already did a video on it, and I wanted to get several people's takes on, whether or not they think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. having these exhibition matches is in any way, shape, or form hurting his legacy. Do you guys think that that's hurting his legacy? Because Teofimo, unified to some, undisputed to others. He thinks that it's hurting Floyd's legacy. He thinks that him doing a dance with the bantamweight kickboxer, Conroy, Jack and Jim, Paul and Hogan, Paul Hogan, Logan Paul. He thinks that stuff is hurting his legacy. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. You trash talk triggered Lou. Mark. I don't know, but it's gonna be a busy day. I'm gonna try to get one live and 2 uploads done today. I already got one upload out the way. That's gonna be after. I'm gonna upload that after I'm done with the live, and then later on today for the midnight owls, the people burning the midnight oil, I'll upload another video way later on today. But right now we're gonna talk about this. This is just my thoughts. This is just what I think. I don't know if I agree that he's hurting his legacy by having these exhibition matches. I don't know if I agree with that. Everybody anybody that really knows the sport knows that these exhibition matches, this kind of stuff, this celebrity boxing stuff, this is not new. It's not exclusive to Floyd. It's been done. Ali did it. Oscar fought Shaquille O'Neal in an exhibition match. Evander Holyfield, he was in there with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney wasn't even wearing a shirt. It was serious stuff, man. Serious. He wasn't wearing a shirt or nothing. You can see his whole chest and all of that. Y'all know who Mitt Romney is? He's a politician. I think he wanted to be president once. I vaguely recall. I'm getting old. But I don't know that I agree that this is hurting his legacy. I don't know. So I'm going to open the floor to the panel, and I'm going to let some of y'all chime in. Do y'all think that Teofimo Lopez is right and Floyd is hurting his legacy by having exhibition matches? But to post the link in the description box. I'm going to just warn y'all now. When 3:30 roll around, I'm going to clear out the panel. It's just going to be me and Lou because I got lots of questions for Lou, and I'm sure that Lou has a lot to say about a lot of things. So looking forward to that. But I'm going to open the floor to y'all. What y'all think about it? Is this hurting Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy in any way, shape, or form? All right. First up, all the way from Ireland, from Kildare, Ireland, we have Mark. Mark.
I'm not from Kildare.
All right. Caitlin Phelan is from Kildare.
She's from Kildare. Kildare, yeah.
All right. Is this hurting Floyd's legacy?
In my opinion, no. But I understand where some people would say it could be. Because whilst to people like you, me, who've been watching boxing for 2 decades plus, right? We know Floyd. the newer generation who are coming in, who have heard his name or whatever, and they're going like 20 years down the line, that's what they'll be talking about, is what they seen, because you tend to talk about stuff you've seen. So in some ways, possibly to them, not to us. We'll carry that, and historians will look at his actual career in context and shit like that. But as far as Floyd himself goes with the newer generation of fans, possibly they'll be like, well, he was just a dude who was fighting Logan Paul and stuff. They won't be thinking of well, that's the truth. That's what they'll be. They won't be like, oh, he beat Oscar, and like they'll know about Manny, but they'll be like, he was old, Manny was old, because people do that in retrospective history. You know that, I know that, even though we know Manny went on to be a 4-time welterweight champion after this shit. A 4-time welterweight champion, the oldest welterweight champion in history, and beat Keith Thurman, who's a former unified champion, who was formerly ranked #1. We know how good Floyd's wins are, right? But they don't. And
but what capacity? In what capacity? See, it's like, okay, I saw what Teofimo said, and I'm like, all right, well, you say that it hurts his legacy. Teofimo said it hurts his legacy, but I'm thinking, like, in what capacity? How does sharing the ring with YouTuber #1 and YouTuber #2 take away from Floyd's accomplishments as a pugilist, as a boxer? Because there's no context in the statement that he made that, oh, it's hurting his legacy. How? That's what I'm like. How? It's
well,
been done.
That's what I'm trying to define, right? So I know most people went back and watched Ali because you were told to watch Ali, you know? So after the exhibitions and all this crap. And yeah, whilst he did that, Ali was like more iconic than anything. His name alone, it is the face of boxing. That name is the face of boxing.
That's true.
Even though he's not my favorite fighter of all time, he's the face of boxing. But as far as Floyd goes, the only thing I can think of that could harm his legacy is people, not in terms of his accomplishments, because you can't take them away, but people not knowing what his accomplishments were.
Okay. Now, George the Doomsayer says the only way it hurts Floyd's legacy, only if Mayweather loses to a non-boxer, and even then, it's okay. It's only people who don't like him that will care. That's a valid point. That the only way this, and I said that too, that the only way I can see this hurting Floyd's legacy is if it goes sideways for him. Like if he go in there and he look like doodle, because you know this is the digital age. In the digital age, if he slips, if he falls, if he gets hit, they're gonna take a picture and then they're gonna turn that picture into a meme. And I think that something like that won't go away could hurt his legacy. Spade, does this hurt Floyd's legacy? Hold on, you're muted.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, Ring?
I was good. Do you think that this is in any way, shape, or form hurting Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy?
No, but I do feel it makes him look tacky.
Okay.
All right, because you can't take away from his legacy, right? However, with him just constantly doing the exhibitions back to back, now he becomes like a clown in the circus. You know what I mean? Because like a guy in his level, it would be better if he like actually really does help fighters or go more in a business side. But when you keep doing these type things at his age, especially, it looks tacky. Like for example, if you look at like, I'm gonna give you a parallel. Like look at Magic Johnson, right? There's a generation of kids that don't even know he plays basketball. They just know him for being a businessman. There's a generation of kids that don't know he was a basketball player, right? So you see how Magic Johnson evolved into something bigger.
That's true.
Floyd isn't becoming the mogul that he claims he is. He's becoming a joke now, because now you're fighting Logan Paul, these YouTubers. It's a joke at this point.
That's a hot take.
You can't take away from his legacy, but now he's becoming a joke.
That's no. That I see. I just processed it. That like if you think about it, and I mentioned this before in reference to comes to Jay-Z. Jay-Z grew. He evolved. He don't need to make records. He 50. He evolved. He don't need to make records. He a producer. He is legitimately writing TV shows now. That's how he get his bread. Jay-Z is a background guy now. He's still getting money. He's still banging Beyonce, but he don't got to cut records no more. Whereas Floyd, you still doing the thing that got you. You see what I mean? Like you still, like you still in the ring. Like you want to call it an exhibition, you could do that, but it's still the same thing. It is pugilism in a man. It is prize fighting. It still is prize fighting. So it looked like you stagnated and you never really got away or became the mogul that you claim to be. We know it's promotional company. I mean, come on. Let's be honest with each other and let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, but to add on to something that you mentioned in one of your videos, which I watch every day, by the way, you do great work.
Appreciate you.
You said something about him possibly having financial trouble, and I don't know, but I think that's the case because it's not about how much money you make; it's about how much you spend, right? And you mentioned something about him frivolously spending money, and you can make $200 million a year, but if your expenses are $300 million, then you don't really have $200 million. You understand? So I do think Mayweather has a lot of money, but it's not about how much money you make. It is about how much money you make, but the maintenance of your lifestyle. And I do think his lifestyle supersedes what he has coming in, because I don't believe a man at 43 that spent his entire life fighting would get in the ring, even for playing at his age and with all the money he acquired. I don't think he would be doing this if he didn't have to.
Yo, you bringing up a lot of good points, but that was a passing thought that I had that like, yo, look, man, sometimes I'll make a bit of change doing whatever it is I do because I do stuff. And based on the change that I make, the rest of my day or the rest of my week, I might be like, nah, I ain't got to do that because I made all this bread. I don't even got to do that because I'm not pressed to do that because I made all this other bread. So I see the same point you made. I see the frequency of exhibition matches that he talking about having. He said he want to go to Japan. He said he want to fight Jake. He want to fight Logan, and he want to fight 50. That's really 4. We could call it 3, but we could call it 4 too. So it's like, yo, dog, like that's a lot of exhibition matches for a dude that could be in Cancun with some broads that got some big old asses. Like,
and not only that, right? I really have to take into question because when I watch your videos, they're well put together and they make you think, right? I have to put in the question: how successful is TMT Promotions? Let's really because I remember one of your videos, you said that with Oscar coming back, it could be because of the deal he had with the Zone, and that's what's forcing his comeback. And it could be the same thing with Mayweather, with him, because let's be honest, aside from Gervonta, whose numbers are mediocre, right, on pay-per-view, aside from Gervonta, what superstar do they have at TMT? Let's just be honest, right? We may know it because we're real boxing heads, right? But the average Joe Blow on the streets, if you ask them, all right, what fighter do they know from the money scene, they really couldn't tell you.
That's true. That's true. Like if you think about, like, look, and I'm not even going to say that he like that because I think Badu Jack is a good fighter, right? I think
I do as well.
Badu Jack, Angelo Leo, I think those is both good fighters, but those is not guys that's going to keep a company afloat. Like, nah, like those guys ain't even got the marquee value that Davis got. And Davis, I hate to say it, but it's reality. The dude is not a superstar. A superstar is what Floyd was, what Manny was, and what Manny still is. Oscar, Mike Tyson, those are superstars that look, you ain't got to watch boxing every Saturday to know who those people are. That's what makes them superstars. If you got to watch boxing as much as we watch boxing to know these motherfuckers, all right, then you're not a superstar because we watch too much goddamn boxing. If you really for real a superstar, you cutting albums like Manny, you cutting albums like motherfucking like Roy. That's superstar shit. Like, yeah, I cut an album because I feel like it, just because I can pay for the studio time. I'm gonna cut an album.
There's another thing which is I'm not gonna go and I don't know if I should say it because I don't know it for a fact, right? But you have it seems that you have a lot more inside information on certain things because you have more connections. So what I'm about to say, you may know of it. So correct me if I'm wrong, right? I think it was Delorme. I think he fought Delorme. I think he was a TMT. Am I right?
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
There's some Dominican guy I know that said he knew Delorme. He said that
Okay.
Delorme was driving Ubers.
That's true.
That's true.
See,
That's true.
he said now. Listen, I'm not knocking anybody for doing what they do to make money, right? But you can't tell me that you're signed to TMT and you're driving Uber on the side. Like then it's really not TMT. It's not the money team if you're doing Uber on the side.
No, it's not.
No, and I ain't gonna clown. I ain't gonna clown. But you speaking to a video, like all the points you making, I made those points. I'll say about a year ago, and I mentioned Dulorme. I mentioned the kid that fought Danny Jacobs. What's his name, man? The Spanish kid that he was talking wild crazy at the press conference. I'm really getting old. I'm forgetting people's names.
I know you talk about the Colombian kid.
The Colombian kid. And he left TMT. So it's like, look, if the getting is good, you ain't going to leave. If the getting is good and you getting money over there and it's money over there and the money is over there, bro, you ain't going to leave and you ain't going to be driving Uber. So it's realistic stuff. I look at like, and Davis is probably the only guy that I could maybe see bringing money into Mayweather Promotions. He's probably the only guy that I see being able to do that, but not a lot because remember, let's go best case scenario. The pay-per-view did the max that they said it did, which was 225. Out of that 225, you got to split that with wild different people. You got to split that with the cable and satellite company. You got to pay for the overhead, all the expenses that go into staging the event. And when we look at just profit, all right, well, what's the profit? Because y'all had to put money into this. What did y'all get back from doing this? It couldn't have been a lot. It just not enough. I'm gonna put it like that. So it's like, yeah, like I'm not. A lot of times people think I'm saying things to be negative or to shit on people, but look at the raw numbers, bro. Look at the raw numbers, and you tell me where you see a massive profit margin, because I don't see it.
And the thing about it is, Gervonta, we can't call him a star. We can say he's recognized. We say he's recognized, but to call him a star, that's a bit of a reach. You understand? In boxing, you would need to have an adversary and an opponent, right? Which he does have, but he's not fighting any of them. You know what I mean? Because in order for a fight to be interesting, there has to be an element of danger to where, like, you know what? Yeah, this guy, he possibly do it. You know what I mean? And with Floyd, there wasn't really that much, but there was the hope. There was a little bit of it. You understand? Either with Pacquiao, Canelo.
With Floyd was fortunate because Floyd fought at a time when he wasn't necessarily the only draw. That's and a lot of people don't talk about that. That Cotto had Puerto Rico behind him. Canelo and Juan had Mexico behind them. Manny had the Philippines and many different fans that just like him because, you know, he's a nice guy, all this extra shit. But he fought at a time when everybody wasn't leaning. See, the difference between Floyd era and the era that we in now, all these guys is leaning on one guy. Whereas those guys was having dangerous fights. They had fans. Like, look, Cotto lost the first Margarito fight, but he didn't lose all his fans in that fight. He still had fans after that.
Hold on, Ring. I'm here. I'm just gonna mute myself real quick because I'm about to go inside somewhere. I'm still here. I'm just gonna mute myself and turn my camera real quick. I'll be right back.
No problem. Battle. Do you think that this is hurting Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy? All these exhibition matches that he having. Do you think this counts against his legacy as a pugilist?
I would say it's hurting him in a sense that, you know, most people have kind of hopped off the Floyd train. You couldn't get on YouTube without somebody telling you 15-0, the best ever, TBE. Now it's becoming comedic now. It's becoming comical, just kind of like how Ali at one point was fighting wrestlers and older people in the ring. I think it was becoming comical, and I think it's going to the point where basically he's going to be that guy who's fighting every 3 to 4 years these people, and of course everybody's going to be like, nobody's greater than Floyd in his prime. But eventually, I think he's probably going to get knocked off his boat one day. He's probably going to get a little chubby, and we're going to be like, "Oh, Floyd's going to fight Floyd's gonna fight Ben Affleck next. Floyd's gonna fight freaking Donald Trump next. It's gonna be becoming like comical at some point.
He got the accountant fucking Floyd.
Did he just say Ben Affleck?
Yeah, yo.
I tried to name a superhero, but I couldn't think of one of them. I was about to say Henry Cavill, so I just named Ben Affleck.
Listen, man, Henry Cavill has a good jab, so I wouldn't put it past him, man.
That dude's got a hell of a jawline on him too.
Yeah, he take a punch. Like, you seen what Zod did to him? Zod was messing him up, but he took those shots.
He's gonna fight Chris Hemsworth.
He can't slip worth a damn, but he could take a punch.
I still remember when he played that gay cat in Stardust, Humphrey.
Also, I think what's the name? Wasn't that the same deal with Sylvester Stallone? Like, you remember how they literally played off the fact of how he was fighting wrestlers? He was fighting what's the wrestler? Oh my god, I can't believe he was fighting Hulk Hogan, and he was fighting this other wrestler.
I can't remember because I'm really goddamn old. But we talking about now. I'm asking Battle same question I asked you, that whether or not this hurts Floyd's legacy as a pugilist, and he's saying kind of like what you saying, that it's like, well, look, you sticking around and you still having these fights, and now you becoming like a joke, like a circus act, like your dog, like you're gonna be fighting every 3 years, and if you think about it, Battle is kind of right, because he did the Conroy thing, and we all thought that, all right, after that Conroy joint, between the Manny money, the Canelo money, and the Conroy money, bro, you good for the rest of your life, right? Lo and behold, he pops up in Japan like 2 years later, and he fight Ellen DeGeneres. Y'all remember that he fought Ellen in Japan or Risen? He had that. Now, I
tried so hard to forget that.
Now, 2-3 years later, what we see? Oh, another exhibition match. It's like, it really looks like, outside looking in, it really looks like the overhead of your lifestyle, which goes to Spade's point. The overhead of your lifestyle is so expensive that in order for you to maintain, you really ain't got a choice. You got to keep doing these joints. You too old to come back and fight the Arrows and Crawfords of the world. So you're going to have these celebrity circus fights, because that's the only way you can maintain that overhead. Your promotional company is not bringing in bread like that. Let's be honest. Your strip club probably brings in more money on the regular than your promotional company.
Not really. Listen, I don't know for a fact, right? But I do have a I've heard some people talking about how ridiculous getting inside the club is.
Really?
And like because all right, you can fact check me, because I don't know 100%. Because the person I spoke to about it, I don't know if I could trust their word, but I would say, because they were saying something like, when you go over there, you have to pay for parking. Then there's a fee you have to pay to get inside, which is ridiculous. Then you can't really touch on the ladies, something like that. So he's like, it discourages people from going in there.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I hear like basically.
Go ahead, Battle. What you heard?
Yeah, I heard the same thing. Apparently, a lot of people had visited Vegas. My bad. A lot of people have visited Vegas.
Battle over getting robocalls. He Battle getting robocalls. They're gonna call him by his car insurance.
You know, we still got the house phone over here. But basically, I heard that it's really, really like discouraging. Like the same thing he said. You remember when Blue Bud put out the video about he paid for like 2 cranberry juices and it came up to like $150? It was like, bro, you got to be an idiot to expect me to pay this.
Listen, man. I think that Mayweather opened that strip club, right, off the novelty and the luster of his name, that this isn't just a titty bar, this is Floyd's titty bar. And that luster lasted a little while, but now it's just, all right, this is just a titty bar now, because you're really not popping like that, which goes back to Spade's point, that like, you're not popping how you was in 2009, obviously. You're not popping like you was popping in 2010, 11, 12, 15, whatever. You're not popping like that. So if a dude want to go to a titty bar to look at some titties, bro, I'm not going to pay no hundo for no cranberry juice. You bugging out. A hundo for some cranberry and vodka? I'll go to Sin City and look at some stretch marks.
Ring, I don't.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let Mark come in right now. Mark, go ahead.
I think one serious thing with Floyd, even in the legacy things and these exhibition fights, I think he's going to hurt his selling reputation as well. Because we've just seen the Logan fights being pushed back, and they opened that stuff with preemptive pay-per-view, boys.
That's true.
But the reality of it is, and Floyd fans, you're going to hate me for this. Floyd doesn't have many fans. That's the actual thing. He doesn't have actually many fans. He has a few, and he has a decent fan base, right? But the reality of it is Floyd was the biggest selling boxer because people paid for the idea that he could lose. It wasn't off of him. It wasn't off, I love Floyd. I want to watch Floyd fight. I'm going to see him fight. It's like, nah, I hate this motherfucker. I want to see him lose. And that's probably why people don't go to his titty bar, because let's be real, he's winning in there. He's winning in a lot of things, and people ain't going to say, oh, yo, I want to see Floyd lose. Do you know who can beat Floyd? Logan Paul. 50 Cent. I guarantee you, Floyd Logan, if it did 1 million pay-per-views, Floyd Spence would do 3 million because Floyd's haters would pay to see him lose.
I'm gonna say this. If it were Floyd versus Jake Paul, because a lot of people want to see Jake get his ass beat, I think that does better business than Logan Paul. I think that because Logan, low-key, this happened and a lot of people didn't notice, right? I remember the Vaughn era. It lasted all of 2 seconds, but I remember when Vaughn came out, and I remember when Logan Paul was really popping, right? That era is over. This is the era of Jake. Like, Logan, nah, you really not as popular as your brother, because your brother got everybody mad that he knocked out Nate. So now everybody is on him. They don't love him, but he is more popular than you are because everybody want to beat his ass. Ain't nobody worried about you because KSI beat you. So ain't nobody worried about you. They worried about Jake. So you and Logan, that's not popping. You and Jake, low key, yeah, that's popping. But you really got to beat his ass though. Like, you really got to like punch him in his face and shit. Punch him in his stomach. Like, you really got to beat his ass because that's what he's trying to see.
You make a brilliant point, and I wouldn't be surprised if that fight gets canceled and they switch it over to Jake. Right? I'm gonna tell you why. The selling point for Mayweather's fights are you're hoping that someone could beat him, right? Logan fighting Mayweather, you know he's not gonna beat him. You know he's not gonna beat him, so that can't sell, and that's the reason why I believe that the pay-per-view didn't sell like the way they thought it would. Now with Jake, there's an angle because a lot of people hate Jake right now because of what he did to Nate Robinson. So, like you said, that builds an angle, and that you could sell that because now it could be like, you know what, I'm getting revenge because Floyd and Nate are cool, they're friends. You know what I mean? So you have a novelty there.
Yeah, and it's like, look, to Mark's point, which I agree with to an extent. It is true that Mayweather was probably the most popular and the most recognizable, if not one of the most recognizable at a time. But what he never was one of the most loved. So there's a difference. There's a difference between having fans, that these are your fans, like Arguello. He had fans, bro. Like, they loved him. Even after Aaron beat his ass 2 times, they loved him. They still love him. They still love Arguello. That's fans.
Think of this, Julius, right? If I were to make a video back, you were in YouTube around 2015, 2016 shit, right?
Yeah.
You make a video on Floyd, you would have let's say you had 10 people saying, let's go Floyd in the chat. For every 10 of them, you would have 200 saying, fuck him, like straight up, so much, right? And now you look at someone like Canelo, who has a lot of haters, right? But his fans outweigh the amount of haters, because if I make a video, I'll see 200 Canelo. It's like Pacquiao in a sense, where you say anything negative, you're getting slaughtered to death by the fans. They will come at you with knives and guns and fucking, yo, they'll be pulling sparring out the walls.
And to your point, Mark, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s, like, if I do a video, right, and Floyd is in the thumbnail, I'll say that 3 years ago, you would get passionate responses from either side. You're gonna get Floyd dick riders. You're gonna get Floyd haters when he's on the thumbnail. If I do a video about Floyd now, motherfuckers don't even be talking about Floyd sometimes. I'll be talking about all the other shit that I touched on in the video and won't even really pay Floyd no mind because that is what he has been relegated to. They're like, yo, low key, you really not popping like that. And every time you get out here to try to have one of these circus fights, it's undignified. Like, yo, fade out, bow out gracefully like Jay-Z did. Like Jay, little by little, he started getting away from the music. Little by little. Like, yeah, I'll come with a song, have a hot song on the radio, me and Beyonce and me and somebody. But little by little, he stopped putting music out there. Little by little, to the point where now he still got money, he's still popping, but he a background guy. He did it gracefully. Floyd, you still out here trying to get in front of the cameras with Logan, with Jake, like somebody like your ass. Like, I might like you because I like boxing too goddamn much, but a lot of motherfuckers don't like you. He was advertising windows. You remember when he did the Love Windows advertisement? Like, but like, bro, you think somebody gonna
Yeah,
buy
that was weird.
Bro, do you think somebody gonna buy windows because Floyd told him? Like, man, I might break the windows because Floyd told me about them shit. Like,
you want to know what it is? Ring IQ. What's the name? Oh boy, addressed this topic a while ago. I'll never forget. Floyd. He was talking about the Conor situation. Remember the comment he put out of how Conor only gets recognition for being, basically an a-hole because he's white. I'm like, nah, bro, Floyd. A lot of people just don't like you, Floyd. Outside of the ring, you're not really a compelling guy. You talk about the same things.
That's true.
And when you look at, you remember how he deleted his Instagram? He has way less subscribers, way less followers than he had when he first started, because outside of the ring, bro, you're not compelling enough to get people to go. You're compelling come fight night. You're compelling during the fight build up. But outside of the fight, I don't think anybody could say, I want to have a drink with Floyd. Nobody want to say, I want to travel the world. Like even when you look at people like I'm trying to say who's like polarizing. Like even when you look at people like Jake Paul, for instance, or you look at somebody like or freaking Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was polarized just because he was a rival to Floyd, but everybody knew Ricky Hatton. You could have a drink with Ricky Hatton because he seemed like he was a cool dude.
Bruh, look. I'm gonna say this much, right? I have never done coke in my life, but if I could party with Ricky Hatton, yeah, I might do a line, bruh. Drink up. And it's a party, yo. And I'm fucking close to 40, bro. But it's like, yo, that's fucking Ricky Hatton, bro. Let's do some coke. Real
like,
shit.
would you? Like, no disrespect at all. Would you have a drink with Errol Spence? I think I would. Errol Spence seemed like a cool dude.
Nah, but I tell you what I would do. I shoot pool with Terrence Crawford because I know he's super competitive. I shoot pool. I'll play Uno, spades, blackjack with Terrence Crawford because I know that outside of the ring, and we know this now, little by little, even though he doesn't do the best interviews because he seems a little camera shy, when you see him in his element and he around his people and he just being regular, the dude is super competitive. So that's the type of person that, yeah, I would want to shoot pool or play Uno.
I actually met Terrence Crawford in person, and I got to chop it up with him. He's one of the coolest dudes, like just naturally down to earth, cool dude. Like just like matter of fact, cause like it was when he was about to fight Amir Khan. I was in New York, and like I was in his restaurant, and like he happened to be there. Matter of fact, if you look at my my screensaver, that's me and him.
Oh, let me blow it up right quick. All right. Wait. I pulled up the wrong one. There you go.
That's me and him actually, right? We got to like chop it up and chill. Like he's just like a regular down to earth cool dude, right? Errol Spence that night, I even got a picture of that too. The night when he was talking about Terrence Crawford on the podium and he was drunk, he was cool too, but you could see he was like indisciplined because like I was around him when he was drinking. That night when he was drinking on the podium, telling Terrence Crawford to come to Showtime ESPN. Like when I get to my crib, I'm gonna show you the actual picture. I was actually with him that night.
I'm gonna say, look, and I don't know this, right? I don't know this, but Errol strike me as a like a dude that he not a street guy. Like I know that. Like looking at him, like nah, he not a street guy. He probably got friends that were street guys and shit like that, but he himself is not a street guy. Like nah. and he looked like the dude that's not the street guy. You know you got a friend that's always trying to get you drunk, trying to get you to like pass out. They keep getting you liquor and shit like that. He looked like he got them type of friends that they know that he has a lot going for him and this and that, and he's very reserved because I watched him come up. And he seemed like a sports guy. Like, you a sports guy, bro. Like, you the type of dude that'll have a scholarship or something. Like, you're not a street guy, but you be around street guys, so that element is kind of there. That's what he looked like to me. To like, nah, you not like that. You see what I mean? Like, nah, you just, that's not you, bro. Like, all that drinking and all that extra shit, they put you under there. That's not you.
You don't need to. You do not need to be street to be an alcoholic.
True.
Right about that. Right about that, Mark.
True. But I mean, I just look at him, and he's another one that is like, he don't have charisma. You see what I mean? Like, he don't have like he don't have that. Like, that outside of the ring, like, yo, what you be doing, man? You be riding horses and shit, shoveling hay and shit. You be on the tractor.
I mean, I would rather hang out with somebody like Errol Spence before I hang out with somebody like, how do I put this? Okay, Rob Gronkowski is like a perfect example. He's one of those guys that loves the party, loves to hang out, go fool. It seems like Errol Spence is the type of dude you'll meet at the barbershop who wants to talk sports all day. And I don't mind talking to a dude like that. It just seems like the type of guy he is.
Look, man, if I had to rock out with somebody, right, like say you pick a boxer that you would like to I guess pick their brain and shit like that, I'd rather sit down with Roy or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like, cause Roy, he not just a boxer. Like, he has like, he talks some shit, and he got mad stories and just mad analogies and all that. It's fighters that's interesting beyond fighting. Like Mike Tyson, even though he's probably dangerous, you're gonna be scared the whole time. He's gonna punch you in the mouth because you're gonna say the wrong thing. But Mike Tyson, for real, but he got a boxing brain though. Like,
true.
If you ask him about Willie Pep, he gonna tell you about Willie Pep. Like, if you ask him just boxing shit, he gonna know. With Errol, I don't see that, bro. Like, what you gonna talk to me about Equilines and shit and tractors and how much you pay for a tractor? I want to hear about that shit.
It was funny. It was funny because it was Fight Hype who was asking him who's his favorite fighter. He mentioned Terry Norris, and I think he said something like, "Yeah, man, Terry Norris is good." It was crazy when he got beat by like I think he said something like Felix Trinidad. He's like, you mean Simon Brown? He's like, oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, man. It's like it's like some folks, like, your personality is gonna be your personality, and personality it don't got nothing necessarily to do with your ability to fight or anything like that. It's just that some folks have personality. They're like, yo, you belong in front of a camera. Like, look at this, right? Sean Porter belongs in front of a camera. But he belongs in front of a camera. He got the personality for it. He got the mannerisms, the movement, the pitch, the delivery. Yeah, he belongs in front of a camera. He has a legitimate future as an analyst. And beyond that, you see, doing a podcast thing, because he has opinions and he has things that he wants to say. Everybody don't got that. They're like, yeah, Sean Porter got more charisma than Errol Spence. I know it's hard to believe, but he do. He might not have as many cheerleaders and bandwagoners, but when it comes right down to it, yeah, he got more than Spence. I'd rather listen to Sean Porter call a fight than Errol Spence Jr. I'd say that.
Yo, you know who has lots of charisma? Who I thought, like, Paulie Malignaggi. That was my guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was like the best commentator.
Paulie'd be cool to go partying with too, because you know that dude's on serious cocaine.
He's good to an extent, because like it's sometimes where he just be snapping at ringside about something.
Yo, Paulie low key, like, well, he was good on the mic. He was real good on the mic.
Yeah, but he, like, yo, look, Paulie, like, see, you talking about hanging out with somebody, right? That dude is doing.
He's gonna get you in trouble.
That dude is doing 100 miles an hour standing still, because that's how much cocaine he sniffed. Don't you hear how he talk? You need a stoplight for how much he talk, because he talk well fast.
The other thing,
man,
it's always cool. Like, if you were with a boxer, you think you'd be safe, right? But the thing about Paulie is he's going to start a fight and he can't hurt the dude. You know what I mean?
I think it's just that standoffish attitude that kind of gets people. Like I remember the first time I heard Larry Holmes, I thought he was very standoffish, but I heard him in another interview. It's just he just talks in a way that's a little polarizing, but he seems a very cool guy. I'll never forget the first interview. I was like, I would never want to talk with this dude. But like, because you remember he came out with didn't he talk bad about Trevor Burbick
Mhm.
not too long ago? Yeah. So like I was just like, but he seems like a cool dude though in other interviews. Though it's kind of he's polarizing though. So if somebody comes across as like standoffish, I think that's really the reason Floyd doesn't have as many
Well, I
fans as
tell you
Big
what
Bro.
that is, Battle. Larry's opinionated. And I love that in people.
Right.
He's opinionated. So he'll come off as standoffish because he's got strong opinions. So if you ask him something, he's going to sound hostile if you don't like this person or like this situation. But if you ask him something that he thinks is like that he has good positive vibes, he's like the nicest dude ever. He's just one of those. And they're the best people ever because you can read them because they're honest.
Yeah, they wear their hearts. They wear their hearts on their sleeves, which makes them a little bit easier to understand. Rob said, "I'd go for a drink with Spence, but I'd get an Uber home. It's too soon for them kind
That's too soon. Wow.
y'all do
Yeah.
mercy.
Do you know who I'd go for a drink with if I could? If I could have at any stage in life? Ricardo Mayorga.
Nah,
You wouldn't understand a word. You wouldn't
let
understand
me
a word he's saying.
No,
I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I'm getting cigarettes at a discounted price, right? If somebody pulls out on me, he gonna pull a machete out the bag. I'm safe. And there's a high probability I might end up in jail, and that's what you want from a night out.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that with Ricky Hatton or Errol Spence.
I won't end up in jail with Errol.
look, you might end up in a goddamn morgue with Errol. I'm good. I don't want.
What
that-
happened to too
that's
soon?
my
Ring got
fault.
you. What happened to too soon?
That's my fault, dude.
I don't want to be around that guy. I say, all right, another person that I would like to have a drink. We got away from the goddamn topic. We were supposed to be talking about Floyd and whether or not these exhibition matches are hurting his legacy. Now I heard three yeses basically. Mark, you think it's hurting his legacy?
No.
No?
I
All right.
said no. I can see the perception. I said you'll have younger people who look at him as a joke.
All right.
And then Battle comes in, who's younger, and says it makes him look like a joke. I don't know what age Spade is, but
I'm not that younger than you, Mark. But I think what
in
it
terms
is
of boxing years, you are.
whatever. Anyway, so so basically, dang man, you got the people you got the cheerleaders in the background with the. So basically, I think what it is, of course, to younger audiences, he's going to appeal because he got money. But as far as you like, it's like when Mike Tyson was hot. If you talk to somebody around that time, everybody's going to be like, nobody can beat Mike Tyson. But now your people be like, yeah, he might lose to a George Foreman. Yeah, he might lose to a Prime Evander Holyfield. Like eventually, it dies down. But you will never get the Floyd fans that when Floyd was hot, Floyd would be Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard on the same night. You ain't gonna meet those people like that as a Tommy.
Like that species was bandwagoners because they gravitated towards other people after that.
I wouldn't say bandwagon because they did that with every guy that was hot.
No, bro, they was bandwagoners because you talking about, and this is just a few years ago. I started seeing guys saying they think that Spence would beat Floyd because of the sparring session. I'm like, bro, y'all dudes is crazy. Like, really, y'all just gonna write off Floyd just like that because of a sparring story? Like,
yeah, I suppose David. I suppose David Price knocks out Anthony Joshua here.
I guess because of sparring, right?
Didn't they say oh boy, what's old boy who just got knocked out by George Joyce? I forget his name. Didn't they say he knocked down AJ too?
Yeah, people were making that claim. I suppose Daniel Dubois beats AJ before AJ fractures his entire head.
Right?
He might.
But that's why I don't go. That's why I don't go off sparring stories. Like they got a sparring story right now about Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Davis. But I gather that the sparring session that took place likely was a couple of years ago. This ain't some shit that happened this year or last year. This some shit that happened years ago. So maybe Davis did get the better of him in that session. I don't doubt that he did, because I feel Davis was a more dedicated athlete a couple of years ago. Not the guy that's in front of us right now. But if they was going to fight right now, man, fuck that sparring session. I got Lopez. Fuck that. Like, you ain't going to convince me with no sparring story.
Sparring can be gamesmanship, right? Most people, when they're in sparring, they're working on stuff. I've been always taught to do that, work on what you're supposed to work on, blah, 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 right? But some people will come in with no respect at one moment. Like, you could spar a dude 100 rounds over a period of few months, right? And everything's cozy. And then one day he just decides, you know what, or you just decide, I'm going to put it on this motherfucker today, like, out of nowhere. And then you could get hurt, and he can control that. That can happen.
Yeah,
it's different. Sparring isn't fun.
I was an amateur fighter, right?
Yep.
And there was a guy I sparred within a week 2 times, right? The first week I sparred him, I knocked him down, right? I got the better of it. 2 days later, he knocked me down and got the better of me. It happens.
Yeah, it's sparring. And it's sparring. It's like when you sparring, you working on different shit. Depending on what happens, it's a lot of variables that the story not going to tell you. Like, how many times did he spar that day? How many sparring partners did he have?
That is true. As a matter of fact, that's true. Because a lot of times what happens is, in the gyms, you could be sparring right now, right? And then some other kid comes in and be like, yo, he needs some work, right? Now, you done sparred like 2 or 3 guys already, right? And you're the only guy in the gym that's probably his weight, around his weight. So then you go sparring again. Now, what the camera doesn't know, and the people, like, let's say it was secretly recorded, what the people don't know is that guy the guy that's getting beat up probably sparred right 3 times already.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
There's lots of missing context. Lots of missing context whenever you hear these type of stories. A lot of context is missing.
And that's why I don't go off of them joints. Like, look, when they was talking about when the Canelo Golovkin fight was still a hot topic, everybody was talking about the sparring story. That, oh, it was this, it was that. Like, yo, dog, when they sparred, Canelo was like a kid damn near. Like, he's like a damn near kid, bro. Whatever they fight is going to look like, it probably ain't going to look like that because that was fucking years ago. Who knows what the fuck they, and this was before they fought, obviously, but that's why I was like, yo, I can't go off of that. That's a sparring session, bro. Like, I don't, just like the Amir Khan Manny Pacquiao shit, there was a sparring story about that, but I'm like, look, in a real for real fight, Manny knocks this dude out. You're not going to tell me different. He will knock him out. So fuck a sparring story. I know that if Manny and Khan was going to fight in the ring, 147 pounds, I got Manny Pacquiao by way of knockout. Fuck a sparring story.
Matter of fact, I got something for you, Ring. I'm gonna mention 2 fighters, and you already know the outcome because they fought before. Robeisy Ramirez versus Shakur Stevenson. Who if they fought today, who you think won?
Shakur Stevenson.
All right, but it wasn't that same Robeisy Ramirez that beat him in the Olympics?
Yep.
See?
Yep.
I hear.
I'm not the person to ask about Shakur because I'm high on Shakur and I think he beats damn near everybody. So I'm not the right person to ask about Shakur. I think Shakur beats Davis today.
Ooh, you went
That's
too
a hot
far.
take. It's a hot take.
You went above that line. Here's my thing.
If I got to cross lines, to be honest, I'm gonna cross him. Yeah, I think he beat him today.
Dang.
Dude, I was just talking with the guy 2 weeks ago, and he told me he thinks Shakur can beat Burchett. And you know how I am about Burchett. I was like, bro, that's a fight I really want to see happen, but it's such a shame that we'll never get to see it though. It's unlikely we'll ever see it.
I agree with you, Battle, because the way I see it, it's only 2 things that's going to happen with Oscar and Burchelt. Either Oscar's going to win or Burchelt is going to win, right? I feel Burchelt is going to win. I feel Burchelt is going to win. If Burchelt win, don't be surprised if he fight Loma. Don't be surprised. Or don't be surprised if he move up and fight Teofimo. I don't see Burchelt giving Shakur the time of day because I feel like subconsciously he know even if I was to win, it's not going to be an easy fight. I might look like doo-doo. This dude is a southpaw. He can move. He can box. He can punch. He got a good ring IQ. He not little. Like Shakur not little for 130. He probably going to cap off at 147, I think. By the time he like a man that he in his 30s and shit, he probably going to cap off at welterweight. I think Burchell not gonna fight this dude. Even if he go in there and wax Oscar's ass in one round, he not gonna fight Shakur after that, man. He gonna fight the
Yeah, I
winner.
really want to see. I want to put these naysayers down. I think he can beat. I think he beats everybody at 130. Of course, I think he beats all the 126 pounders. That's out of the question. I think he beats almost everybody at 135, with the exception of Lomachenko and Tiafimo. That's just a little too far. To just jump up and wait and fight Tiafimo, the best guy at 135, that would be me pushing it. If anything, the person he lose to besides those three, who I actually still give him a good fight, but I still think he will win, is Davis. But that's it. I think he beats Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and I think he beats those guys too.
I think Devin I feel is probably the hardest fight because I feel like Devin has a even though his resume don't say it, and I understand that. This is just my anecdotes. These are just anecdotes. Don't take it for more than what it is. But I feel Devin has a high ring IQ. He just hasn't had the opportunity to show it against somebody we could talk about. He hasn't had the opportunity. But I think Devin versus Shakur is a chess match. That's a chess match right there. I don't think that's an easy fight for either of them.
I would favor Shakur. I think Devin Haney would look embarrassed, honestly.
You think? See, you're not just saying that he would win. You saying he would embarrass Devin. That's why I'm like, chill, dog.
Yeah, because no, you got to listen to what I'm saying here. Devin Haney has the ring IQ to go with Shakur Stevenson. What I do think is going to happen is it's going to get into one of those things where of course, it's going to be a little you go, I go, because nobody really wants to commit first. But he's going to find out the hard way. He's going to have to lead. And then when he leads, I think he's going to be walking in the shots. Devin Haney just hasn't fallen that level where he's had to chase anybody yet. And that's the last thing you want to do is fight somebody like Shakur Stevenson, and you haven't learned how to actually properly get inside and do the work.
Bro, you said embarrassed, bro. That's strong. That's like embarrassed. Like what we talking about, like Floyd and Corrales embarrassed. That's what we talking about.
Not probably not that. It's probably be like Ndongo versus what's her name? What's old boy?
Up Ndongo, man. Why I gotta be about Ndongo? I like Ndongo. Stop talking about Ndongo like that. All right.
No, not Terrence Crawford. What's the guy?
Regis Pregarious.
No.
The other dude, what?
Daniel Yusuf.
Yeah, he got to be talking about. I can't say that dude's name, dog. But how you say
the white guy? He fought. No. The white guy he fought in like UK.
Oh, you talking about Ricky Burns? You talking about when he won? You talking about
yeah.
With the Glasgow?
Yeah, basically, not like a straight wash, but it was clear that Ndongo was the winner.
I dig it.
Bro, I just realized how fucked up that was. He was talking about Ndongo being a winner, and we didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's messed up.
We just assumed of him losing. That is bad.
It's been a rough year, bro. We all go to a negative place in our minds now because it's been 2020 was rough, man. All right, I attribute that to that, but I don't see it like that, bro. Like between Devin and Shakur,
he's only lost twice.
Check this. Devin and Shakur would probably be like James Toney and Mike McCallum.
No, I don't think it's gonna be that type of test match. That's a test match.
They were both around the same level, and like that match to me was like the ultimate chess match between two boxers of similar styles, and it was hard to call it. So I believe that fight is gonna be just like that.
Might be like Francis Bartholomew versus Robert Easter. If no guy is making glaring mistakes and giving the other guy openings, it's going to just be a lot of feinting and a lot of moving around and a lot of looking for opportunities, but they might not pull the trigger because they both got high IQs. Like, bro, Devin ain't got no glaring weaknesses. He don't. Aside, the only weakness that he really got that you could call it a weakness a little bit is that he don't, I guess, and I don't even know if I want to run with it, that he don't punch that hard. That's the quote unquote weakness that you see. That he could buy
terrible balance.
What? Shakur's in the same boat with the power thing.
You say he got terrible balance. Devin Haney?
Yes, I've been saying this for a while. I'm surprised you didn't know this from me, IQ. I've been saying this for a while. I really hate his balance.
What?
I really hate looking at it. It's mind boggling to me.
Nah, but we ain't talking about the same fighter. You must be talking about Tevin Haney or Gavin Haney, not Devin.
Nah. I'm talking about Devin Haney, man.
I know where battle's coming from, but I don't think it's actually his balance. I think it's his center of gravity, where he's distributing he'll distribute his weight in a really weird way, and it kind of throws him off posture, Julius. It's actually quite obvious.
It's so weird. I hate that. I think that's the biggest reason I don't.
That's all I'm going to say. Tim Bradley says you tripping. You tripping, bro. Devin Haney ain't got no balance. You tripping, bro.
Yo,
Okay, so here's my thing. Do you like watching Do you like watching Paulie Malignaggi fight?
Yeah, do I like watching him fight?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. What are you trying to do to me, dog? What you trying to get?
Okay, no, I'm getting to a point here. Paulie Malignaggi was one of those guys. He can actually give you a good fight and throw a bunch of punches and actually give like a crowd a pleasing fight. But I hated watching him because his balance is terrible. Like he stands so wide. You know how like Paulie likes to fight. I hated watching it. I hated watching the style.
I kind of get. All right, now I get it. You don't like the aesthetic of him. You don't like how he go about, because I don't see a fighter that's off balance. Like I don't see him in an awkward position that he shouldn't be in, or that is like I just don't see that. But what you're saying essentially is that his style is awkward to you. That's what you're saying.
Basically, yeah, basically.
All right. I mean, I could accept that. That boils down to preference at the end.
Get Tim in here. Get Tim in here.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the joint, man. I'll put the link in the joint. Always welcome. We're gonna have Tim in here. Lou gonna be here shortly. But when I get Lou in here, I'm gonna clear it out because I got a lot of things I gotta ask Lou. Still gonna field questions, of course. But yeah, man, like I feel Devin versus Shakur. That's definitely a chess match because neither guy has glaring weaknesses, and neither guy is gonna give the other guy openings. So that creates a situation where it's like a stalemate almost. They're like, well, he ain't giving me nothing, and if I get out there and I try to get something, I'm gonna put myself in the line of fire. So I gotta be careful. It'd be a chess match. It'd be a stalemate. It might not be a pleasing aesthetic. Like think about Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andre. That's a good fight on paper. You put them in the ring. I don't know if that's a good fight to watch. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to sound like a broken record because that's one reason I don't think Andrade beats Billy Joe or Jamal. He has terrible balance too. And actually, the thing is, Andrade falls over his own 2 feet constantly.
I agree with you a little more, Andre. That he just like it's just weird things. He's like the Bermuda Triangle with southpaws. Just weird shit happens that he'll go for a shot and end up 3 steps over. Like, bro, where were you going? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what was that? The Suyeki fight or the Keeler fight? It was the Keeler fight. He wanted to knock Keeler out, and he was going for it. But it was just like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
bro, that fight was bad, bro. That fight was horrible to watch for me, at least in my eyes.
Yo, Julius, I have a question, by the way, real quick. Yeah.
All right.
Are you updating your pound for pound list anytime soon? The only reason I'm asking is Manny doesn't have a title now.
Oh, he's not on there anymore. Everybody, I think that's Tim right there. Is that you, Tim?
What up?
All right, what's going on? What you think about Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, Tim? Battle thinks that Shakur would embarrass Devin. What do you think about that? No, I ain't hearing nothing.
I don't know about embarrassing, but if he would beat him, Shakur Stevenson would beat him.
You think he would beat him? Yeah. I think the signal going in and out. Yeah. So you think he would beat him? How do you see Shakur beating Devin? What is it that Shakur could use against Devin to win that fight? And how would he beat him? Points or knockout?
Points. No knockouts. Points.
Or as you can see, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, as you can see, Shakur Stevenson, he knows every facet inside that ring. He can fight inside the pocket. He can fight mid-range. He also can pressure guys if he needs to and use his leg to create offense.
That's true. I like Shakur for the fight, but I don't think he would embarrass him. But I like Shakur
I don't
for the
know. I think he pressures him and beats him on points.
And I think I don't know. I don't know if it tells the story on paper, but just looking at him anecdotally, I feel like Shakur lets his hands go more, creates more opportunities by letting his hands go more. So I go Shakur. I lean towards Shakur. I don't know about embarrassing him though. I don't know about all that. That's something else.
Man, I'll say this though. As far as Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson go, I'll actually say that it was a complete switch around. I liked Devin Haney before he went to the pros, before more than I like Shakur Stevenson. I thought Devin Haney was more promising. It went to like a full switch around. I actually saw Shakur prove to a level I never thought he could. And don't get me wrong, he's not even at his full potential yet. I've seen
I,
him improve in more level and more ways than Devin Haney has, which
I
was
think
shocking to me.
I think that the politics are kind of affecting Devin's growth. Like I don't think that he's getting to have the fights that he need to have because of where other guys are. And I think that that's more or less touching on what you mentioned in that. Well, if it seems like he's regressed a little bit, or if he didn't live up to your expectations, it's because the politics is getting involved. Like I still want to see Devin Haney versus Javier Fortuna. I don't know if I'm gonna get to see it, but I still want to see it. I still want to see him versus Linares too, because those is the kind of fights that he really hasn't had yet. Even though he got a belt, those are still the fights that he ain't had that. Zaur Abdullayev is not the equivalent of those guys. Linares got toughness. He ain't the most durable guy, but he's tough and he can box. Javier, he's a handful. I haven't seen Devin in there with them kind of people yet. So the politics is kind of getting in the way.
It seems like Devin Haney's going to go in a direction where he's just going to be fighting Ryan Garcia's leftovers. It might go that way.
Damn. Future's bleak.
Man, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, better.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Like if they want to get his career on the right path, it's not going to be easy because of COVID. But he's got to be putting more on the line for these fighters to step up, or at least for these fighters to take these deals.
I think both guys kind of need to fight for higher level competition. Neither of them have fought much better competition than the other.
Why don't he fight Nakatani?
Exactly.
Why don't Shakur fight Burchell?
Good point. Hey, Ryan Garcia, I think he can afford to fight more lower level guys because he's getting paid.
Nah, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something, and y'all not gonna like it. Ryan Garcia is not ready for Masayoshi Nakatani, and I'm not kidding, bro. Look at what he did to Felix, bro. Look at what he did to Felix.
I'd agree with you, Ring IQ. I wouldn't say no different.
Ring, I agree with you 1,000%.
He not ready for that dude, bro. Felix thought he had the fight in the bag, and Masayoshi was like, no, I'm not staying down here, bro. All right, and he got up and look what he did. I don't think Ryan is ready for that. Put it this way: if the fight was tomorrow, not that it will be because it won't, but if the fight was tomorrow, all right, I'm betting large on Nakatani. That's a grown ass man. Ryan's still making YouTube videos and all of that. Like, nah, he not ready for that. He not ready for that smoke.
Has Masayoshi got a deal with Top Rank?
Tim,
How old was Muhammad Ali when he fought against Archie Moore?
That's Ali though, bro.
Yeah, that's Ali, man. That's just a lot different, man. Terry Norris is 21.
He was 20 years old when he beat. Not that exactly, but I mean, how you supposed to expose your greatness?
I mean, you can, but I don't know if it's going to get good effects from his part.
See, it's like this.
You got to take risks, man.
No, I'm not. See, this is the thing.
I agree.
I'm not saying that he should or shouldn't. What he should and shouldn't do is up to him. I'm saying if the fight was tomorrow, I'm betting on Nakatani. If bro, I'm not. In other words, I'm not saying he's not ready so that he shouldn't have the fight. I'm saying that if they fought, I don't think he's ready for that dude. I really.
But Tim, you said something about legacy, right? I don't think. Well, you would know better than me, Tim.
I think he rides.
Huh? Wait, these fighters nowadays, I don't think they care anything about legacy or like where their names would be.
I think that Ryan Garcia will rise to the occasion if he was to fight Nakatani. I think he beats him.
So you all right. That's what I wanted to know. You think Ryan has enough in there already that he could beat a tough dude like that? I think he needs 2 more fights before. If it was me, if I'm Eric Gomez,
Yes,
and I'm
I do.
if I'm Eric Gomez and I'm Oscar, I give that kid 1 more fight before I throw him in the trenches like that, because that's where he's gonna be. Like, bro, Nakatani could take a punch. We seen that. He been in there with Teofimo. He been in there with Felix Verdejo, and he gave both of them good fights. One fight he won, one fight he lost. But what we see is this dude is durable. So he not gonna go away just because you land a hard shot. He gonna come back with his own shit. I don't know that Ryan is ready for that yet.
See, I'd be really surprised if Ryan Garcia knocks him out, and that's saying something because Ryan Garcia can hit hard.
Bro,
I'd be really surprised.
listen, man, I'll call my sister. Like, yo, you know Ryan Garcia just knocked out Masayoshi. She don't even know who Ryan Garcia is, but I'll call her if he did that. Like, that's some shit. Like, you knocked out Masayoshi Nakatani. Teofimo Lopez ain't even knocked out Masayoshi Nakatani.
It's weird though. You ever notice those crazy knockouts? Because I'll never forget when Ishe Smith fought Erickson Lou, but I didn't think he was going to knock him out. That dude took like 10 losses. He still didn't get knocked out. He got knocked out by the first time by Erickson Lubin. I never thought that in a million years would happen.
Yeah, but if you look at it in hindsight, that was when Ishe was towards the end of his career. So it's like he was towards the end of his career. Granted that Lubin did what he did, but did you see the Lubin versus Gaché fight? Lubin damn near
I saw that.
Lubin got wobbled by Terrell Gaché, bro. Got wobbled.
I think Nakatani could be stopped by Ryan, predominantly because like the man's coming off of 2 fights where he got 2 injuries. He was hospitalized against Fimo for a possible brain bleed and a fractured orbital bone, and he fractured his orbital bone again against Verdejo. I mean, your punch resistance could be waning at that point, bro.
That's true. That's true. That's a fair point. I didn't know. I didn't actually know that he suffered a fractured orbital bone. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know about the brain injury.
Two and a brain injury.
Oh wow.
So
Nakatani might want to take a break.
I think he's 27. Julius 28.
Wow, damn. That's. Hey man. Right? Blood and guts sport. That's shit. I didn't know that. But I'm not confident in Ryan for a fight like that right now. I think that the right fight for Ryan to grow as a fighter.
Oh, he's 31.
The right fight for Ryan right now is Jorge Linares. That's if you want some promoter shit. If you want some manager shit, you like, yo, you want to put him in a fight that's gonna make him a better fighter, but you don't want him to be in over his head. Put him in there with Jorge, because Jorge can box his ass off. He just don't take the best punch and he cut easy. So you got that working for you.
But he hits so accurately and consistently, and he's powerful, man. That's the risk you take with that dude. You can knock him out, but I'm sorry, if Luke can drop you, Jorge can knock you out.
Jorge is gonna turn that ring into a porta potty. I think this is going to be like the 4th time he's going to get knocked out to the body. I guarantee you. I predict he gets knocked out to the body. I guarantee you.
Yo, but why you said he gonna turn it into a porta potty?
Because you know how people make the jokes like a boxer take a crap in the ring when he gets knocked out by a body shot. Like you remember Liam Smith got beat by Canelo and did 78 sports like he took a crap in the ring.
Yo, he didn't say that.
He did. He did. Yeah.
To be fair though, dude, he did. He took a big dookie in that ring.
Yo, Canelo really beat the shit out of him then. Like he legitimately.
Liam Smith actually gave Canelo a good fight. I will actually say that Liam Smith was actually ready to fight. I would actually say that. I know a lot.
This is funny. Callum saw the 12th round, right? Callum saw the 12th round, and he didn't get knocked down. He didn't get knocked out. But would you say that Callum gave Canelo a better fight, or would you say Liam gave Canelo a better fight?
Liam
went for it. Liam showed more balls.
Exactly.
That's why he got taken. That's why he got knocked out, bro. That's why he got stopped. He got stopped because he showed more balls. Callum
it's
just
an excellent point. It's an excellent point you say that, Mark, because I'll never forget when it was a lot of people after the first Canelo fight, it was a lot of people that was doubting Canelo's chin. I mean, not Canelo, Triple G's chin. I'm like, bro, here's the thing. You never see you ever never see it. Somebody pressures Canelo for 12 straight rounds and
Yep.
goes the distance. Triple G is the only person that done that. If
True.
you go to
People
if you
don't do
pressure
that.
if you pressure Canelo for 12 straight rounds, you're going to get knocked out unless you're somebody like Triple G.
Well, everybody forgot because of the Golovkin fight. If you go back to what people were saying before the Golovkin fight, what did they always say about Canelo? He likes guys that pressure him. He likes guys that's going to try to walk him down and try to pressure him because then he could use his counterpunching. The only guy that,
And it's slipping. It's slipping,
Yeah.
and it's
to
defense.
your point, the guy that kind of erased that from people's memories is Gennady Golovkin. They're like, well, Golovkin was pressuring him and he ain't look comfortable to me, and I'm not with the bullshit. Canelo didn't win the first fight, not to me. I'm with the bullshit. All right.
Did he draw the first fight?
No, he lost that shit if you asking me. That's if you asking me. I don't know what Battle going to say. I don't know what Spade's going to say. But if you asking me, Canelo ain't drawing that fucking fight.
Honestly, the first time-
over here
the
on
first
Ring
time-
IQ, we truth tellers. And we're purveyors of the truth.
Honestly,
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
honestly,
say this.
the first time I had it,
I thought Canelo lost the fight. However, this may be an unpopular opinion. I do think you can make a case for a draw. I'm gonna tell you why. In that fight, Canelo was landing the cleaner shots. He was slipping and making a Triple G pay a lot. I chose the constant pressure of Triple G's over Canelo's limited pot shotting. However, someone can make an argument that Canelo was landing a lot of clean, hard shots.
That's true. If you're scoring power punches at a 1-to-4 ratio per jab, sure.
That's what I mean. And like, remember what's happening in between the power shots. And I'm not telling you that he was doing a David. I'm not going to say that he was doing a Canelo what he was doing to David Lemieux with the jab. Like, he couldn't miss him with the goddamn jab, right? But in between Canelo's crystal clear photo finish power shots, there were like 4 or 5 jabs landing in between there. Like, yeah, you getting off a good shot here and there, but most of the fight, he's throwing jabs at you. And when they not touching you, you giving up real estate. You moving around. Like, I don't believe with that shit.
In that aspect, I agree, right? However, sometimes you know how something looks through your perspective, but then try to imagine that person's perspective, right? Who doesn't have quite the knowledge that you may have, right? Because Triple G could be landing a jab, right? And we know, all right, that's a scoring punch right there. That's scoring. And then Canelo lands one crazy uppercut that snaps his head back. The average guy's like, ooh, and that has an effect.
I get that.
I get that.
But I get it. But it's still not an argument because the average guy doesn't know a scoring criteria. You have to base it off of the actual scoring criteria. It just means they're scoring wrong. For example, I could make an argument 4 + 4 = 12. I'm still fucking wrong.
That's true.
yeah, that's why you can't go off that argument when people say something like Triple G didn't win that fight because he was moving backwards and he said Mexican style. It doesn't matter if he's scoring, he's scoring.
That's
It
true.
shouldn't matter what he's originally did because I'm pretty sure if you ever seen that fight, I don't know if you guys remember. It's a fight by the name of Humberto Gonzalez versus Michael Carbajal.
Great fight.
I think
Great fight.
yeah, Humberto Gonzalez, he tried to pressure Carbajal to end up getting knocked out. I think it was the rematch where he outboxed this dude. But there was a lot of people like, why you came up to this fight not trying to fight? But I'm like, he wanted to win. The same thing Triple G did.
I agree, but I think it's a point of contention. The point of contention that I have is, did Liam Smith actually fight a better? Like, yeah, you went for it, right? You went for it, Liam, but you going for it got you knocked out. You could interpret Callum Smith not going for it as a bit of ring savvy because, yeah, you didn't do shit and you lost all them goddamn rounds on. Like, you lost every round as far as I was concerned. It was a clean sweep. But did you not fight a smart fight because you finished on your feet? Your brother didn't. Which one of y'all really fought a smarter fight? I kind of feel like, man, kind of Callum. Like, yeah, he didn't do a lot, but he didn't get his ass knocked out either.
It depends.
It's
It
just how
depends.
you.
I think people are more.
If you got to decide how I'm gonna finish this fight with Canelo, do I want to get knocked out or do I want to lose on points? What's the answer?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I
but
think people
also,
are more like to.
hold on. Like when you say smarter, yeah, it's smarter for you not to get knocked out and stuff, right? I agree with that, right? But I also know that people that I've spoken to, they don't want to watch Callum again because he's boring. He's boring. But people want to see his brother. They still want to see him fight Jesse Vargas. They want to see him and Kell Brook, and they still want to see those fights because Liam's entertaining. Whether he's good or not, he's entertaining. But Callum is just a big long scarecrow who throws out a jab and goes around in a circle trying to survive. It's boring.
Yeah,
He's like a 6'9" version of Francis Barthélemy. Like I don't want to see it.
yeah, I agree with that. But
So what's smarter
also-
in that retrospect? Surviving or actually being somebody people want to watch?
Also, to add on to Mark's point, I think there's a lot of people that will respect him if you fight a person to their game. Like, you ever notice how like the saltiest boxers, they'll be like, "Oh, he ran," or "All he did was just slug." Like, if I'm Marcos McDonald and I get in there with a guy who actually slugs with me and knocks me out, I'm more likely to respect that guy because he beat me at my own game. But if he runs around and clinches, I'm gonna be like, dude, like you fake, bro.
I get your point. I guess I'm thinking about it in the perspective of the actual dude that's in the ring. Like, well, if you're in the ring and at minimum, you get to go the distance with Canelo as opposed to being stopped by him. Can we interpret that as enough ring savvy that, hey, you can get your ass knocked out? So that's got to count for something. Because if you got
Or
your
he could have been shaking in his boots. He could have just been scared.
well, he don't want to get doodle punched out of his abdomen. So I mean, I don't know. Like I kind of feel like Callum fought the smarter fight, but Liam fought the more entertaining fight. I can't say that I counted towards Liam's ring savvy or ring IQ. That yeah, you went for it, but you got knocked out.
Yeah, he got knocked out, but like at the same point, Callum lost completely decisively. If he was lucky, you could have given him what I would call a pity round. You could have given him a pity round if you wanted to. So either way, both dudes got broke up. Liam, when he left that ring that night, he didn't have to go to the hospital, but Callum did.
That's true. Well, no, you sure you didn't go to the hospital?
He didn't have any broken bones or any ruptured muscle. Even if he went to the hospital, it was precautionary. Callum had to go because he fucked up his arm completely.
That's true.
Wrecked it.
That's true. You're gonna be out for a while.
Will Callum's arm ever be the same after that?
I don't think so.
How's that job going to be now?
I don't think so. Now right now it's 3:25. I'm gonna see if Lou's gonna come in because he told me he gonna come in around 3:30. So I'm gonna clear it out right now. And if Lou don't pop up, I'll let everybody back in. So let me just see if he's about to join. All right, peace.
Peace, Ring.
Battle, peace.
Peace,
Right?
bro. Please subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to his channel.
Got you.
So we're gonna see if Lou about to come on right now. And yeah, you know, it's a lot of different ways to interpret what happens in there. But I guess I feel like it takes some level of ring savvy to be able to go 12 rounds with a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. That has to count for something because you know what? If you weren't a halfway decent boxer, you don't see the 12th round because he'll knock your ass out. You'll make a mistake, you'll get clipped, and he'll knock you out. That's why I kind of think that, like, yeah, Callum lost wide and he didn't do a lot, but he's got to be a halfway good boxer to see to see the 12th round with a Canelo Alvarez. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So we're gonna wait for Lou. I already sent Lou the link. 12. He said 3:30, and we're gonna see what it do. Back to our original discussion. You know, are these exhibition matches that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is having? Do these exhibition matches in any way, shape, or form count against his legacy? I maintain my original position that not really. I mean, it's a little tacky. It is a little tacky. It is a little I don't know. There's a part of it that seems a little bit undignified. It's just that it's easy to idealize everything. If you put that same opportunity in front of someone else and they do the exact same thing that Floyd would do, then how can we sit here and chastise him for it? A lot of people had a lot of things to say about the Conor McGregor crossover fight, right? But like Oscar said a whole bunch of things about that. They're like, oh, this, that, and the other, right? But he was also the same one offering up Canelo to fight Conor. So it's like, a lot of people said stuff about the Conor fight, but look at what Manny turned around and did. Manny was finna do the same thing that Floyd did after Floyd did it. So I wrestle with these criticisms. I wrestle with these arguments that people like to make when I'm thinking, look, man, if you offered any one of these other pugilists that opportunity to make that massive sum of money or vast sums of money for what is an exhibition match, I think most of them would take it. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't know if I can say it counts against his legacy. I don't really know. But I personally, I don't really think it does. I just think it's a little tacky, and I think it accents other things that may be going on, because the frequency of engagements he's talking about a whole year's worth of exhibition matches. A whole year? You need to do that all year in 2021. What, you missing some money or something? We'll see. But it's 3:28. Let's see if Lou pop up. Let's see if he do. Had a very good and revealing interview with Cristina Linardo too yesterday. Lots of strong opinions. I was actually surprised to hear that she views Alicia Baumgartner, who she fought at the lower weights, not at 140. She says she's the strongest puncher that she ever fought. And bear in mind, she's been in there with Katie Taylor. She's been in there with Delphine Passoon, Deanna Hobbs. But she said that Alicia is the strongest puncher that she fought. That's very revealing. That's very telling. Yeah, Lou DeBella, Lou. I'm waiting for Lou right now. We're going to see. I don't know if he's experiencing technical difficulties, but I'm going to just check right now. Check right now what it do. Post this joint in there. And yeah, man. Yet these actual pro boxers aren't making a bet. That's a point. That's a valid point, Proud Father. That is a valid point. How can it hurt TBE's career if nothing damages Don King's? Well, you know, they're in different walks of life. Different things, man. Different things that involve his fighters, and some things that because Lou has a lot of big stable of girls. He got a lot of girls under him. I want to ask about those female fighters. Questions in reference to them and what needs to happen. You know, just different things. You'll see. You'll see. Ask Lou when his book is coming with the tell-all on the Wilder. Ooh, y'all want me to ask Lou about Wilder? Y'all want me to talk about that? Don King, a murderer, a con artist, a thief, and seemingly indestructible. Well, Mark just beat him. He had a case against Mark. He had a copyright against Mark, and Mark beat him. He's not indestructible. Mark beat him. You gotta go in hard. I mean, look, man. I'm gonna ask. Look, if y'all got questions, I'll post your questions for Lou, and Lou will answer them. You know, it's based on his comfortability level, not mine. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, thoughts on Daniel Dubois. I got a lot of thoughts on Daniel, and I'm gonna upload those thoughts in a video after this live is over. I'm not going to touch on Daniel and Mark Tibbs in this live because I've already prepared a video discussing that. So I'm gonna leave that for the video I'm gonna upload after this. What was negotiating the Parker fight? All right, well, wait for Lou to show up before y'all hitting me with the questions now. I'm gonna wait for Lou to show up. I don't know if he's tied up right now because it's 3:32. I don't know if he's tied up right now, but we're gonna wait a little longer. We're gonna see. Joe Lazizi, will you ask about Conwell? Also, why Serrano fighting a smaller girl? Terry Norris beat Don King in court twice for millions. Shout out to Troy. Troy with the boxing knowledge. Not indestructible. Terry Norris beat him in court. Terry never got paid, though. Ooh, Rockstar with the counter shot. In the early 90s, though, Don ran the show on making the best boxing cards happen. Yeah, he did. I mean, I don't think any of us can deny that. Didn't Wilder have 5 managers at the same? Well, I'm gonna let Lou answer that question if and when he gets here. I'm gonna let him answer that if and when he gets here. Because you know. Y'all want me to ask like what kind of mayonnaise motherfuckers got in their sandwich and shit. Best Don can't fight. You guys treating Julius like he is a computer written. Hey man, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. That's all I could do. I'm gonna do my best. And that's enough for me. And we'll see, man. Oh man, they talking about Wilder versus Martin is off. Expect me to upload a video about that. I'm gonna be talking about that. Chavez versus Whitaker, in my opinion, maybe pound for pound versus pound for pound. Ask Lou if PBC is struggling with Fox. I'll ask him for you. Y'all better not, y'all don't give me no goddamn loaded questions here, all right? Man's taking time out his day to field my little ass questions on my little ass channel. Y'all play nice. You gonna see what it do. So the Wilder versus Martin fight is off? That's not good news. That's not good news at all. That is not good news at all. RTE News Panorama team threatened by the Kinahans. Really? Get out of here. Hold on. They threatened? Daniel Kinahan. I got to make a theme song up for Daniel. He's starting to be the Kaza Soze of boxing. Daniel Kinahan. Shit, I'm going to ask him for a goddamn job. He don't know. I'll fit right into his outfit. I'm just playing. Daniel Kinahan. I don't see the reason more. I'm going to do a video on it, Ivan. I'm going to do a video on it. Mark? Hey, Lou, what happened with you? Oh, my God. You guys are terrible. You guys are terrible. See, he not going to come on. He going to look at this. He going to look at this and be like, nah, they trying to ambush me. They trying to ambush journalism. Me. Daniel Kinahan. Wilder is retired. You lying, bro. You lying. Yo, dog, if he retired, the prophecy is fulfilled because I said that months ago, man. I'm going to come out with a Daniel Kinahan song and he's going to hype Daniel Kinahan. Give me a goddamn job over there. He don't fit right in there, man. Fit right in there like an OJ glove. I'm just playing. I got to stop playing like that. I'm going to get in trouble. Irish FBI probably wiretapped this live like there's this guy in America. Says he works for they go battle. There's this guy that in America. He says he works for Daniel Kinahan. He says he cooked up a resume to work for him. We've got to investigate him. Have him extradited. This guy named Julius from Kildare. Nobody get offended at my attempts at doing accents. If I attempt to do an accent from your region of the world, it's because I think it's a nice accent. that's charming. I'm not making fun of anyone. I just had to put that out there. If I do an accent from England or Ireland or Germany or something, it's because I think it's a nice accent. I would like to hear the accent. Okay, so nobody get mad at me. I'm not making fun of anybody's accents. I just know that some... Right. Okay. Okay. Here's Lou. I like accents from all around the world. So if I do an accent, I'm not making fun of an accent. I actually like the accent. That's why I'm mimicking it. This guy in America named Julius. He says he knows Daniel Kinahan. He used to work for him. We've got to kill Julius. Okay, I'm talking to Lou right now. He's going to join shortly. And I got lots of questions about his stable of fighters and just different things that are going on. Very much looking forward to this. It's a privilege. It says I'm waiting backstage. I don't see Lou. Think. Hold on, let me I think at the part where you type your name first. Let me take a picture of the thing right now. See, because this is the backstage part. This is who I see backstage. Right. See your name yet. Yeah, I don't see Lou backstage. I don't. Did you? All right. Yeah, I don't see Lou yet. I see Mark. I see Mark. Yeah, because I'm talking to Lou right now. He says he typed in his name. But and he's waiting backstage. Mark is awful. Yeah, I don't see Lou back here. Let me see. All right, look, I'm gonna what happens if I'm gonna just refresh this thing. Julius, you're not texting Lou. That's you guys are terrible, man. I don't see Lou. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I just texted Lou. He said he's waiting in the back. He did click the studio, but I don't see him. Daniel, give him. I'm gonna send another link. Let me send you a fresh link. Okay, I'm gonna send a fresh link. Copy of the clipboard. Send it in an email. Okay, here we go. Send it to myself. Then receive it on the phone. Because I don't see him back here. I don't. Okay, copy. Try this link. See if it does the same thing. Yeah, because I don't see him backstage. He says he's backstage on his end, but I don't see him on mine. I see Mark is there. Maybe Lou's taking a bath right now. That's why. Well, you dudes are terrible, man. Looking for each other like lost uncles in a shopping center. Yo, y'all dudes is terrible. I see Troy. Troy just popped up. I see Troy. I see Mark. I see Troy. They're backstage. It's Richard Schaefer and yo, y'all dudes is terrible, man. Y'all dudes is terrible. I see Mark. I saw Troy. Troy just clicked off. I don't see Lou yet. I just sent Lou a fresh link. Hopefully it works. Okay, send Lou the link again. Oh, I see what you did. You checked if the link worked. I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, it's working because that's the link that that's the link I'm sending out. So I mean, I don't know. All right, there's Lou. I see him now.